Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here. I want to ask a little bit, some specific questions about the CoStars program. I have a constituent and businesses in my legislative district that use the program, some with positive and some with negative opinions. So I just want to ask a few specific questions about it. Within the CoStars program, is it required that any possible contracts are informed to the public as well as advertised? Is there a requirement for them to advertise what's coming down the pike?
There is a requirement that every Commonwealth CoStars contract that we let, those are transparent. They're publicly announced. They're put on our website. They're available for everyone to see. If and when a municipality chooses to go to a CoStars contract and compete among CoStars vendors in order to issue a purchase, I believe that would depend on what their local policies and local requirements are with respect to advertising.
But in order to be a member of the CoStars entity or one of the vendors, the approved vendors, if you have, so they are, I understand that they are approved. If you have something that you're putting out to them, are you required to get a competitive bid? Or can you just go to one vendor? And the bottom line question is, can somebody put a $100 million contract out there, they're trying to fill it, and they go to one vendor and not competitively bid it or announce it to the public that it's up for bid?
The contracts that we let are typically multiple award contracts. They're all done out in the open and public. They're transparent. If and when a municipality chooses to go to use one of the suppliers on the CoStars contract, we strongly encourage them to do that competitively and to treat the pricing and the terms that are available in the CoStars contract as a starting point.
Okay, and what if they don't?
Honestly, it's outside my jurisdiction.
But the CoStars program is your program?
That's correct, but ultimately the purchases that are made and the individual members' ability to use the contracts and decision-making around whether or not to go the additional step of doing another round of competition is up to the local CoStars member and their solicitor.
Okay, so if an entity, a local municipality, was going through that program and it was required by their township to competitively bid, then they would have to abide by those ground rules, but not necessarily if that wasn't on their books.
That's my understanding, Representative. Yes.
Okay, because some of the frustration that I'm hearing back from folks that have become a part of it, but feel very strongly as to the fact that there is a lot of sole sourcing happening through and using the CoStars program as the avenue to do so. And we talk about being open and having the books open and all of that and transparency, but many of these companies are feeling like they're being shut out of possible opportunities that their businesses could compete for, and they're using CoStars as the shield. That because they're a member of CoStars, they can use any of the available vendors because they've all been approved, and I understand why we want to do that, and I understand the positives of CoStars, but I'm also seeing that for some of my businesses that the negatives of it in the sense that they feel very much that they're shut out of the process where they could be competitive and that they could be getting Pennsylvania vendors. So that leads to my last question about it as to how many of the vendors that are in CoStars are Pennsylvania companies and how many are not?
I believe it's 77%.
79.
Oh, how about that? 79%.
Even better. So 79% of the vendors are Pennsylvania-based companies?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and those the rest, can anybody from another state come in and be a part, or is that a cap? Is there any kind of minimum or maximum?
The contracts, when they're let,
Right.
There's no restriction on out-of-state businesses competing for those contracts.
Okay, so the actual ability for that individual company that is trying to look for, to be part of the process, is there any advice that you would give them as to the fact of the ones that feel that they're being shut out? Is there any avenue for them to be able to fix this?
So I would be more than happy to speak offline.
Okay.
And to get the specifics around the businesses that you're hearing from.
Sure.
And the specific municipal purchases, and we would be more than happy to engage and intervene if that's something that makes sense.
Okay, I appreciate it. The ability, like I said, the ability to move forward and have a pre-approved, that's a good thing, and cut some red tape. We always want to do that. But when we feel like some of our businesses are losing out some opportunities, we want to make sure that we're doing it the right way. So thank you very much.
Thank you.